And this is what people are saying now, but the guy was saying it, what,
15
years?
He was Minister for Labor.
When
he was ahead of his time.
Yeah,
he was ahead of his time.
He was ahead of his time. Well, we appreciated it even then. You need sometimes when they come and prescribe for you and tell you, oh, Kenya is this. Remember how they used to try and arm twist us?
He's the encyclopedia of parliament history.
That's how
we always ask him.
We gravitate
so I tell him,
to tell us.
tell me again what happened during this time. So he's a great resource to me.
We served with him as a minister. He was a great guy. He was a good friend of mine also.
Interesting, he's talking about Middle East
oh yes,
right now, a lot of what is happening with Israel and Palestine. Just briefly.
Absolutely. And now we've gone out of a way right now to condemn what you call the victims, just because we want to be on the good side of the Jewish, global Jewish and international community and the Western world. How do you tell a superpower, a nuclear power, and stone throwing boys and girls who have just been humiliated and destroyed and degraded for the longest, that you both have to exercise restraint? No, these people have nothing to live for. They lost their land. People were brought from outside in other countries, brought into their own land. They accepted to live with them on a two-state, what they call formula. And the Israelis decided, no, we don't want two states. We'll take even the little they have and put up settlements all over what essentially should have been Palestine, which is a UN mandate. It's a UN resolution that's there, that Israel should have, leave all that. And they went all the way to West Bank and everywhere. And they treat them like garbage. They treat them like trash. They spit at them. Small Jewish children are socialized to spit at them and see them as subhumans.
All right, maybe just briefly.
But now they have decided they don't want to leave. If they're going to, the last thing they will do and perish even as the 10 million Palestinians is to regain their dignity. They will regain it at any cost. And nobody has a monopoly to violence. The West has got the power, yes. And they've done it before, but right now you can see how the Palestinians are fighting back.
Right, so the question is, in the principle of neutrality, should Kenya be going full steam ahead in condemning?
Yes, it was a mistake.
It was a mistake?
It was a serious mistake. We never condemned when Israel bombards and kills, and literally reduces Gaza into some kind of a rubble and kills 2,000 people there. You see what I mean? We never condemn the way they treat them and taken their land through settlements. We never condemn when they go into their holy mosque, the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and do what they do, literally chain them up when their shoes. You want to go to a mosque, even if you're a non-Muslim, you take up your shoes, at least to respect those guys. And then they go in there and basically chain them and beat them up and tell them that you cannot pray in your own mosque. Imagine. They can't pray in their own mosque.
Thank you. And
now we are coming to condemn them.
Thank you.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
It makes absolute sense.
All right.
The language, what you call, there's the language of oppression. The language of oppression. That's what's being exercised right now. Oh, we condemn terrorism. So when the Israelis send jets, F-35s and F-16 and F-15 to bombard them and reduce them into rubble, that is not terrorism. But with this poor guy who only thing he has a small rocket, a rudimentary,
But you have to appreciate this was sent before. Now there was retaliation from Israel with sending the rocket.
Israel has been destroying them every 5 years, every 3 years, the way they're doing now.
Thank you.
Throughout for the longest.
Right.
But right now they became a little bit more sophisticated. And by the way, let me tell you, always oppression and impunity never survives. Americans tried it in Vietnam, they lost.
Thank you. Let me come to Gladys, just looking on the other side of it, because we are in a very bad place as a country, especially with the externalities and the shocks thereof. We have the dollar. We've seen now the dollar has spiked because of this particular war that has been declared by Benjamin Netanyahu. The yen as well has really gone up. What does it really portend for our country? Now we know that the dollar is actually ticking towards 60. We are at 155. Still smarting from Ukraine. Now we have another case with us. This is bound to make the cost of living go up.
I'm hoping that this will de-escalate.
You're hoping it will de-escalate?
I'm hoping it will de-escalate.
With the pronouncement yesterday from Benjamin Netanyahu that they've declared war?
Sometimes when you say that, it makes the other people stand down. So it's a way of trying to. So we do.
I don't think it will de-escalate.
You don't think?
Honorable Farah has very strong opinions about it.
Personally, I think the Palestinians did what any dignified human race can do. We did that to the British ourselves. When they reduced us into some kind of subhumans, like cattle, we fought back, and Mau Mau fought back. My own Somalis fought back, wherever they are. The longest, what you call, war outside the European sphere where planes were used was used in Somalia against the Mad Mullah. And that's how we got our dignity back.
Thank you.
But if you allow it, you see, these people have been lying like this and asking for basic security. They were never allowed. So right now, they will fight back, and I can assure you they'll fight back.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
They will reclaim their dignity. Now, whether we want to be on the wrong side of history, the fact that, you see, Hitler one time was just so powerful, the whole world was literally shivering under. And you remember with the appeasements, you remember what you call non-interference by the British, Americans, and all that. But eventually, because he was a racist who wanted to destroy the rest of the world and create an Aryan race, he lost.
Thank you. Let's hear from
and the Jews, Zionism is nothing other than a super race.
Thank you.
And the Arabs are supposed to be subhumans. They'll fight back.
Right. I think this is a standalone topic that we cannot be able to exhaust just in a few minutes. But the question would be, in 50 years, Egypt, Syria, we saw the invasion of Israel then with the Yom Kippur. The carnage that was experienced there now is actually being repeated here. Even if we're bound to see more of it, I think so far, when it's crossed over to 1,100 people dying in a spate of 2 days, that is a big worry. So in 50 years, there's